You thought we wanted your sons that look like daughters to fight in our army? You were wrong. We'd rather your remaining young and strong that survived COVID to be sent to die in the desert.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. So when somebody shows you who they are, believe them if you are willing to lay down your life for a nation, but that nation then wants to use you for medical experimentation, you gotta go. You gotta go. That's what our U.S. military did. U.S. military said, unless you accept the COVID-19 vaccine, which, by the way, is your human right, an actual obligation to say, no, wait up. My body is my temple. And only I get to decide what goes into my body. Not the government, not some church, not you because you have a gun. I get to decide what goes into my body, right? Like, that is basic human rights. You are a slave if it's the other way around. Okay, so just want to set something very, very clear here on all things when it comes to life. If you can't say what you think, move where you want to go, and if you don't get to make your own choices about your own health, well, then you're a slave. Period. That's it. I mean, that's it. That's slavery. That's definitionally slavery, right? So if the government says you're going to take our therapeutic, our injections, and you say no, it's my body. You don't own me. The government says, okay, you got to walk. You walk, and tens of thousands did. And now the government's in panic because they have nobody signing up for the U.S. Army anymore. Imagine how that works, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine how that works. This is real desperation. Check it out. This is a brand new poster from the United States Army. COVID vaccine not required. Top line selling point for their new marketing strategy for the U.S. Army. $50,000 in entitlement bonus. That's number 2 on the list, along with a bunch of other little bonuses, right? Entitlements for housing and whatever, college and tuition assistance, blah, blah, blah. Guaranteed job of your choice. No open contracts. Wow. 100% college tuition. Travel the world. 30 days paid vacation. The top line. And all these are pretty juicy benefits to joining the Army. The top line is no COVID vaccine required. What a world, ladies and gentlemen. What a world we live in. This from DC Drano. Army sending letters to former troops saying that in light of the removal of the COVID-19 vaccine requirement, they can now apply to get their reasons for discharge changed. This means derogatory remarks or dishonorable discharges can now be potentially removed or reversed. The Army is also inviting unvaccinated troops back into the military, begging, not inviting. Huge reversal for Biden's tyranny, military mandates, finally put an end to Republicans in Congress. Rare W for the good guys. It's authentic from the Department of the Army. Dear former service members, we write to notify you the Army guidance regarding the correction of military records, former employees for COVID-19 vaccination. You now have to send something to the Discharge Review Board to effectively say, I'm not a slave. Look at this. Amazing. As the U.S. Army misses its recruitment goals by 25%, it begs unvaccinated soldiers that underwent involuntary discharge due to the COVID vaccine mandate to return to service, begging them. Read the red here. Individuals who desire to apply to return to service should contact their local Army. Please come back. The rescission of the COVID-19 vaccination requirement as a result of the rescission, the current COVID-19 vaccine requirements, former soldiers who were involuntarily separated for refusal to receive the COVID-19 vaccine may request a correction for their military records. Here it is right here. Army rescinds COVID-19 vaccination requirements. Secretary of the Army has issued a memorandum today that rescinds all policies associated with the DoD COVID-19 vaccine mandate in accordance with the memorandum. Oh, man. It's great to be right, but this one hurts a little bit, right? It was great to be right on everything during COVID, on everything. Man, we were up in months with an asset that said this thing came from a lab and was created by Dr. Fauci with the help of the Chinese. We within like weeks, we called this thing. We were the only ones. We're the only ones. We were called crackpots and crazy. And we nailed this. And of course, we nailed these vaccine mandates to the wall as well. Because it's your body and you have a right. It doesn't matter what vaccine or what thing it is. The miracle drug, unicorn, rainbow drug, potion. Doesn't matter. It's your damn body. If somebody can tell you what to do with it, then you're a slave by definition. U.S. Army tried to treat their soldiers as slaves, and they effed around, and they found out. Check this out. Only 43 of the 8,000 discharged from the U.S. military for refusing vaccine ever joined. Only 43. Way to destroy an entire generation of warfighters that are desperately needed right now as we careen dangerously towards World War III. As multiple fronts, the world is collapsing, whether it be in Europe, whether it be in the Middle East, whether it be in China, Pan-Pacific, baby. Only 43% of all 8,000 service members who were discharged from the military for refusing vaccine against COVID-19 have sought to rejoin 8 months after the vaccine mandate was officially repealed. Wow. Data provided by military branches. Many Republicans argued that the vaccine mandate hurt military recruiting and retention efforts, which was part of the rationale for forcing the Defense Department to cancel the vaccine requirement. The military mandated that the vaccine for only 15 months on August 2021 through January 2023. Wow. All the way through January 2023. All the way through January 2023? Goodness gracious. And this is what happened when Republicans took control. Only 19 people back from 8,000. Oh, God. This is how some of those soldiers are responding. This is a U.S. Air Force veteran, Patrick Fox. Another indicator that the Army is in panic mode on the personnel front, a mass letter has gone out to soldiers who were involuntarily separated from their service over the COVID vaccine refusal. The Army is now offering to correct the service records with an eye towards encouraging people to reenlist. Given how politically radioactive the decision was by the DoD, how much resentment it generally internally and how much bad press it generated when it was made, mollifying policy like this indicates the Army leadership are feeling the pressure on recruitment numbers. To a degree, they're willing to eat a little crow to alleviate it or to even stay alive, because if you have a military, you're going to need personnel to man your military. If it gets bad enough, senior leadership are backed into a corner. Promise to restore rank and pay are not unthinkable in the future. Whew, baby. Oh, baby. Delicious. U.S. Army is having a hard time recruiting. Now is asking soldiers back from Business Insider. We're glad to see the Army is revising its persecution of soldiers who refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine, says Anna Paulina Luna, a veteran in Congress. She's a veteran of the military. This is her first term in Congress. Let me be a little more precise there. But that doesn't take away the damage that it caused to our troops. Biden's vaccine tyranny should never have been allowed to happen, she says. The Army enlisted its fiscal year 2022. The Army missed its recruiting goals by 10,000. 10,000? Wait a second. The Army missed its recruiting goal by 10,000. Look at this. It looks like 8,000 people were discharged. Wow. Those numbers really seem to add up. Now they are begging to reenlist thousands of soldiers discharged over the vaccine mandate. Instead, they're standing by their failed COVID policies. Pretty remarkable. Looks like they're worried about something. Army scrambling to get soldiers kicked out over Biden's vaccine mandate. Look at this. Look at this. Remember when thousands of soldiers were unfairly discharged from the military due to COVID-19 vaccine requirements? Nearly a year after Republicans successfully removed Biden's draconian requirement, the Army is finally willing to correct service records. Our office is here to help, showing this is how you do it. Request a correction for your military records. And of course, there is no apology for the indefensible, unnecessary mandates. No apology. So I say this. Don't do it. Like, don't. Not a good idea. Not a great plan. Don't reenlist. These people hate you. Demand that they all resign in disgrace. Demand that they all be removed. Every person that ever signed off, so that find the chain of authority that signed off on this mandate, this vaccine mandate, and then wait for all of those people to apologize and then resign or get fired, and then consider enlisting. Once the Army and the U.S. military has leadership in that declare that they will never do a COVID-19 vaccine mandate ever again, right? That declare that your health and your bodily autonomy and you not being a slave is the first and foremost priority for them. Then consider reenlisting. But until all those things happen, don't do it. How scared is the Army right now of this current moment in time? They're making ads with all white dudes in it. Who's your target market now? Oh, now that you have World War III on the horizon, and you need men to actually show up and fight, now we get ads with straight white dudes in them. Ooh, baby. I'm a patriotic guy. Don't serve these people. Don't serve. Demand a change in leadership, then sign up to serve. Demand a change in leadership. Make it hurt.